What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are just crushing the tables right now. Today we're going to take a look at some tournament play I had from a couple nights ago, including this hand. We're going to look at the Beast final leaderboard and where I wound up on that. And we're going to take a look at the session that I had right before the end of the Beast leaderboard for that week. In this first hand we're taking a look at, I have pocket queens in the big blind. The hijack seat limps. I don't have a lot of information on any of these players since it is a tournament. I don't play a ton of tournaments. Time Wreck does make a raise here in the cutoff. Makes it a little bit bigger than twice the size of Baller 22's limp. I have pocket queens, so I'm going to get it all in here into a pot that's already 19,000. I have 43,000 left in my stack. I'm just going to jam it all in right here. The limp, however, does make a call, and this player wound up limping with kings. Didn't think I was going to see that. That is very unfortunate for me, and I wind up missing right there and getting knocked out of that tournament. Barely in the money. I took 31st place. I thought I was going to make a deep run right there, and that tournament was just taken from my grasp. Now I have pocket kings in the big blind. Button raises to 222, and the small blind jams all in. I'm just gonna make a call here to try to induce JP Montana to make a call as well, which is what happens. I now have 1869 behind me. I'm going to make a small bet with this very low flop, and JP Montana makes a call, and now I'm just going to get it all in since I'm so pot committed, and I wind up winning a very large pot right there. A little bit more than doubled up on that one. That's big for this tournament. Hopefully I can make a deep run in this one as well. Next hand we're looking at, I have ace 7 suited, under the gun +1. Blinds and antes are up to 690 right now. I only have 1506 behind me, which is less than 3 rotations around the table. I'm about to get blinded out, so I need to make a move, either this hand or the next hand, and ace 7 suited seems like a perfect hand to jam all in right here. The button and the big blind makes a call as well. Not a great flop for me. Queen high, rainbow. The button bets, the big blind makes a call. Now I think my only out's going to be an ace or maybe an 8. Shit, we got 2 all-ins. Not looking good for me. And I get knocked out of this tournament. Now we're looking at ace 10 suited on the button. Blinds and antes are up to 460. I'm going to make a steal bet here. We have a small stack in the big blind. I make it 435 to go. A little bit bigger than 2x. We have loose players to our left. Not a ton of hands on either of these players. Both seem to have folded 100% to post-flop bets though, so that's a good sign. The big blind does make a call. Winds up flopping 2 9s and a king. King high board. We both probably missed this flop. His stack's about half the pot right now. We are both totally committed to this pot, so I'm just going to put him all in right now, and maybe I can pick it up right now, or maybe he'll chase with whatever he has, and he winds up calling, and he hit his trip 9s on the flop. That is very unfortunate. He had 9-10. We had him dominated pre-flop, and that flop absolutely killed me. Now we're looking at ace 9 offsuit in the small blind. Blinds and antes are up to $660. I am just about to get blinded out in this one as well. The blinds must have just gone up. We have a limp in the cutoff and on the button as well. I'm just gonna jam right here to try to force these players into calling with hands that I most likely have beat right now with an ace high. I think any hand better than mine probably would have raised pre-flop. We do get 2 callers, which isn't great for my ace high right now. I do hit a 9 on the turn, which helps me out a little bit. I think the queens and 9s 2 pair could hold up, and we wind up seeing that the big blind had 10s, finished in 60th place in that one. Not a great tournament run today, but gotta keep grinding it out. And here is the final from the Beast leaderboard for last week. 238th place. I think it's incredible that there are 237 players that put in more volume than I do. Maybe they're not putting in as much volume, maybe they're getting less volume at the higher stakes, but that's pretty insane that there's that many poker players on this website. But looking forward to this tournament next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, to try to qualify for the Punta Cana Poker Classic. 5 packages guaranteed. Should be a good one. I'll definitely be recording this one. Hopefully I can make a deep run and get some really great content for you guys. And I've got a new goal to work toward, and that would be getting up into the cash prizes on the Beast leaderboard. Need about about 1,000 more points to qualify for cash prizes. It'll be a little bit easier once I move up in stakes, but I think it's achievable for the stakes I'm at right now. Probably have to put in about 10 hours more a week in order to put in that many more points. But this is what you guys should be doing, is setting goals for yourself and working hard to achieve those goals, and make volume goals or hour goals, not so much money quantity goals, because I think those are a little bit harder to achieve and can fluctuate more than putting in a certain amount of volume, hours, etc. Let's take a quick look at some of the hands for the last push of the Beast leaderboard there. I got 2 sessions in right at the end to make sure that I qualified for that tournament. In this hand, I have pocket jacks, middle position, open a 3x, get called to my left, and actually everyone to my left pretty much calls except for the blinds. Wind up flopping a full house. That feels absolutely fucking amazing. I just check it back to try to get some action behind me. Everyone else checks as well. Now there are 2 hearts on the board, and my jacks are still in a very commanding lead. No more slow playing on this one. I'm going to come out and bet $2, and I get raised directly to my left. He makes it 3 times my bet size. There's now $11.35 in the pot. The question is, do I want to raise here or wait until the river? And I make a small raise here to try to induce a call from any draw that might be out there as well. He might see that it's only $5 more to call into a $20 pot where he could be hitting his flush draw. So it kind of makes it worth it for him to make this call, thinking that he does have outs. And I know that he really doesn't have outs, but I want to give him the opportunity to try to chase those outs. So I just make it $11 and he makes a call, and the flush does hit. Now I'm just going to get all my money in right now, and I do get called by the flush and wind up winning a big pot right there. This hand we have ace king in the cutoff. I make it 3x to go, and we get raised by the small blind. The small blind is a tight reg who doesn't bet much post flop. He plays pretty fit or fold post flop. So I think this is a pretty easy call for me to make, playing in position against this player with ace queen, and it's only $3 to call now. We both have pretty deep stacks. So I just make a call and wind up flopping top pair, top kicker. There's $9.50 in the pot. He comes out and bets half pot. I just make a call here not to give away my hand value. The turn is another queen, and right here I figure my ace queen has got to have him dominated. He checks back. I make a small bet here to try to induce him to chase something, and maybe he's got tens, maybe he's got jacks. Hopefully he has something like kings or aces. That would be amazing right now with the hand that I have. And he does make a call, checks back, and I figure, he probably didn't hit his flush on the river. Otherwise, he probably would have let out to me. So I'm going to bet big here and try to make it look like I'm bluffing right here and that I missed my straight draw or something like that, and maybe I'll get called with jacks, kings, or aces. Or maybe he can really make a reach here and make a call with ace 10 or a hand like that. He, however, does make a fold, and I pick up a pot. I maybe should have bet that one smaller on the river. What do you guys think about that one? Should I have done like a half pot size bet to try to make even more hands call right there? Let me know down in the comment section. Picked up 56 big blinds on this one. Let's take a look at it. We have ace king in the big blind, and we have a open raise to 3x from the cutoff, a 3 bet on the button, and I make a 4 bet to $3 from the big blind right here. The cutoff folds and the button jams, and I'm gonna get in with the ace king here, and I wind up hitting my ace on the river. Finally. But that's just a coin flip, you guys. That is going to happen every once in a while, and it should even out in the long run. So that's not too much of a victory right there. I'm actually surprised that he 3-bet and then 5-bet jammed me with the sixes. That's a pretty loose play, and we can put this one in this player's notes for later reference that he will not hesitate to get in with a small pocket pair. This hand, I have king 10 on the big blind. The button limps and the small blind calls, and I just check back to see a flop here with king 10. Wind up flopping trip 10s. Pretty draw heavy board, and we get raised by the button. I just make a call here. Don't want to give away my 10. I think only a 10 is going to re-raise again there. I just check back. He's shown the aggression with the raise on the flop, and he bets again, this time $2. I probably should have raised right here. I, however, do just make a call and wind up rivering a full house. And this time I come out and lead, and he does make a call for $5.75. I think I missed out on an opportunity to check raise the turn, and I think I probably would have gotten a lot more value on the river had I have done that. I probably would have given myself an opportunity opportunity to get everything in the pot with the river. So I think I made a mistake on that one, but we're out here and we're learning. I'm learning just like you guys are, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. Move on to the next session here. Got a big hand right here. Ace queen on the button. Folds around to me on the button. I make it 3x to go. The small blind calls and the big blind 3 bets to 325. We can see that this player has been absolutely crazy aggressive over the only 9 hands that I have on this player. But I do just make a call in position against this player, and the small blind calls as well. Wind up flopping top pair, top kicker, 975 in the pot. I wind up betting half pot on the flop, and the small blind calls here, 1925 in the pot. I have 17 behind. I am pot committed to this one. I think my ace queen is going to be good here. I bet a little bit larger than half pot, and he comes back over the top and puts me all in. This is an easy call for me to make. He winds up showing queen 9. Not a great hand to push all in with, and we wind up winning a big pot right there. All right, here we are sitting at a 50 NL table. I have pocket 4s in the hijack seat. Make it 3x to go. Get called by the button, who is a regular. The big blind calls as well. Flop is ace high. Everyone checks it around. The turn is my 4. That's a big card for me, and I come out and fire $3, 2/3 of the pot. The big blind calls, 1075 in the pot. He checks back. I want to put in a big value bet right here. I make it a little bit less than $8 to go. That's about 4/5 of the pot, and he does make a call. I think I probably could have bet a little bit larger there. I don't know what this player had. Probably an ace reg of some sort. He does have a very low fold percent on the river, so I could have maybe made that bet a little bit larger. Slight mistake right there. This hand I have pocket aces under the gun +1, open at 3x, and we get 3 bet by the cutoff to $1. I 4 bet it to 230, and the cutoff just makes a call. Flop is 2/8 and a deuce. I make a small bet right here to try to get as much money out of this one as possible. I think when I make a bet this size, I could get any ace to chase. I could probably get 2 broadways to chase maybe. Maybe I could induce a raise right here. He makes a call. The turn is my money card with the ace. I now have a full house, aces over 8s. I have $6 behind me and 835 in the pot. I'm just gonna check here to try to induce a bet from him. He, however, checks back. 3 in the river. I know it doesn't really help his hand. He is pot committed right now though, and I think maybe if I just jam all in, I could get any pair from between the 3 and the ace to make a call here, thinking that he is pot committed, and maybe I'm just throwing in a bluff right here. So I do just jam in. He makes a fold. Maybe I could have made that bet a little bit smaller on the river. He does have a 100% fold to river bet, so I think that large bet maybe was a mistake. I thought that he was probably going to call any pair that he had in his hand though, so questioning my play a little bit on that one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Head down to the video description for links to Hold'em Manager, America's Card Room. If you are not signed up for America's Card Room, click the link below. Use promo code DKPoker to get a $1,000 match bonus as well as 50 tournament bucks. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Share it with any of your poker friends, and I'll be back very soon with a new video. But until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.